Mark Footitt pushed for a place in the England team by bagging his third 5-wicket haul of the LV County Championship season as his Derbyshire team took complete control on the second day of their match with Northamptonshire at Wantage Road before Ben Duckett produced something special with the bat. Footitt had grabbed the one Northamptonshire wicket to fall on the first day, the second morning getting underway with the home team on 6 for 1 in reply to Derbyshire's 361. And after night watchman Ollie Stone had been concerned by that bouncer from Footitt, Tony Palladino was rewarded for bowling top of off to remove Stephen Peters. Footitt delivered an outstanding opening spell, producing pace and movement to flatten Alex Wakely's off stump, the Northampton skipper on his way with his side on 46 for 3. And it was 3 for the left armour when he took a return catch to get rid of Stone for 19 at 51 for 4. Footitt came off with figures of 3 for 41 from 9 overs, and his replacement, Ben Cotton, wasted no time in having Rob Keogh caught behind for 9 at 74 for 5. To avoid the follow-on, Northants had to somehow get to 212, but that was now a long way off, and although Adam Rossington and Richard Levy applied themselves for 8.5 overs in adding 30 runs for the 6th wicket, the innings was soon over. A perfect morning for the visitors was confirmed when Levy was surprised by some extra bounce from Shiv Thakur and played on, trying to leave the ball alone. And then, right on the stroke of lunch, Rossington was trapped in front by Cotton, the break coming with Northamptonshire on 106 for 7 after 31 overs. Footitt had the ball back in his hands after the interval, and he struck with his first delivery as Rory Kleinfeldt drove loosely to Hamish Rutherford. Wicket number 48 of this championship campaign, to add to the 82 he took in last year's competition, came in Footitt's next over when he proved to be too quick for Maurice Chambers. And when Cotton was reintroduced into the attack, he struck immediately as last man Ben Sanderson edged to Billy Godalman. With Footitt taking 5 for 41 from a dozen overs, Northamptonshire were all out for 116 and were asked to follow on 245 runs behind. Footitt came charging in again, and with his 8th delivery of the second innings, he bounced out Peters, who was out for the second time in 3 hours. With the events at Lord's, Footitt could not have reminded the England selectors of his pace and skill at a better time. When he was rested, batting was a little easier for Duckett, a man who has had a troublesome few days on and off the field. He'd avoided a pair and looked to try to establish the first innings of note in this match for his team. He had 36 of the 54 runs on the board when Wakely mistimed a pull off Cotton and found Palladino at mid-on, a bad day for the home skipper, becoming an even worse one. In spite of his golden duck on the previous evening, Duckett has been in very good form of late and made sure that no more wickets were lost before tea. And before the players headed off, he'd made it to a 50 from 75 balls with his 9th boundary. With Keogh blocking out the other end, the break arrived with Northants on 77 for 2 and needing a further 168 runs to ensure that Derbyshire had to bat a second time. The 100 had just been brought up in the evening session when Keogh on 11 lost his middle stump to Palladino. That brought back Levy to the crease, and he decided that the best approach from here was to play some shots. Something Duckett had continued to do too, as he moved into the 70s, having 75 of the 133 runs on the scoreboard. When Levy was out for a 22 made off only 17 balls, having hit 3 fours in 4 balls off Cotton, the South African was bang in front of the same bowler when he missed a whip to leg. The entertainment was maintained with Rossington clearing the rope off Wes Durston to just the 8th ball he received, while Duckett closed in on his second 100 in recent games by middling yet another shot. He wasted no time in the 90s, and a well-timed flick through mid-wicket off Thakur took him to 3 figures off 134 balls, that being his 17th 4. The 20-year-old has only just nailed down a place at the top of the batting order, and he's certainly made the most of his opportunity, this being just the latest of a string of excellent innings. Footitt's day, meanwhile, which started so well, was on the downslide a bit before the close, but Derbyshire still ended a fine day for them very well once Rossington and Duckett had taken their partnership for the 5th wicket to 98, made in only 14 overs. Palladino then became the latest bowler to grab a wicket the moment he returned to the action. Rossington on 39 trapped in front as he played down the wrong line. And the decision to bring back night watchman Stone didn't work, as he was perfectly yorked by Palladino to go for 3 with just a couple of overs of the day remaining. It ended with the scores level, but with Northamptonshire 6 wickets down in their second innings with 245 runs on the board. Duckett still there with 132 runs to his name, needing 13 more for a career best.